Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stoicism Insights. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our insightful content. Today's video is a game changer. We're tackling a common struggle that many of us face, overthinking. But don't worry, we've got your back. In this video, we'll explore powerful Stoic techniques to break free from the chains of overanalysis and reclaim your mental space. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll have practical tools to bring tranquility back into your life. So buckle up, hit subscribe, and let's dive into the art of conquering overthinking. You won't want to miss this journey. Let's get started. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power beyond your thoughts, not external circumstances. Recognize this, and you'll gain resilience." Do you understand how frustrating it may be to a noisy, busy head? The suffering of hesitancy or analysis-induced paralysis that results from overthinking, as we've all been there, listening to the conversations again, predicting results and attempting to resolve a never-ending series of what-ifs in our heads. Today, we will address this, confronted with 10 realistic Stoic techniques for victory overthinking if you're seeking solutions. To end this pattern and take back your mental room, be sure to strike the bell icon and join now, and let's explore. Represent your overanalysis as an external force. Overthinking may appear subtly, as if mist were descending onto what was once a clear day begins, with just one concern or notion, but it swiftly grows until it can take you off your feet. This is a typical struggle in the fast-paced world of today, where knowledge strikes like hail in a storm that fills our heads to capacity ideas about what might happen next, or what if. Perhaps Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic king, the philosopher, famously stated that happiness, the quality of your life, is what determines your ideas, which leads us to our. The first method regards overthinking as, this isn't about an outside force. Creating an adversary in your mind, but understanding that these ideas are not the essence of both of you. Imagine those invaders of your tranquility. Invading ideas like clouds moving overhead. You yourself are that mountain, majestic and unwavering, steadfast as now, as the clouds pass by. How does one withstand these invaders? By learning Stoicism. Imagine us watching passively, putting these ideas inside a bubble and observing them vanish mentally. Exercise not only reduces their weight, it strengthens the comprehension that ideas are fleeting. They can only disturb you if you refuse to let go. To them and provide them with strength, using this mental image generates a beneficial mental reaction. You separate and release these ideas, prior to them intensifying into a storm, as you improve your ability to set yourself apart from this assault on overthinking it. It gets easier to realize that you're not just a compilation of your ideas, this similar to a shield distinction. It's a raucous crowd, so wear earplugs. Intentional, ongoing work that increases stronger every day. Application. As soon as you become aware of yourself, starting to overthink, pause and visualize the idea that superfluous noise. This is a step away from who you are. You're defending more than just yourself. Taking a stand against overthinking, take back your mental space and find tranquility, one by one, to seize the initiative by. Have you ever tried redirecting your energy? Imagine oneself descending a rabbit hole, gap between what-ifs and apocalyptic situations, repeating the same concerns repeatedly. It's not over until you're mentally spent, similar to having several open browser tabs, each with a video playing in your imagination, with maximum intensity, and you're unable to hit stop trying to multitask mentally. Symbol of contemporary life, where the need to remain in control of everything can result in an unending cycle of overthinking but similar to a jumbled workstation, a cluttered mind requires organization. Redirecting your thoughts isn't the same as it's all about mental tranquility. Regaining command and calming the continuous clamor of what might be so you can recognize another's Seneca. The sage skillfully incorporated wisdom into saying that the only way to truly be happy is to enjoy the moment without worrying. Reliance on this sage's future counsel acts as the foundation for assuming charge by concentrating your energy. Start by grounding yourself to quit overthinking. Concentrate on a task at hand right now, even something little, and direct your energy into finishing it with this change in emphasis. Rescues you from the maelstrom of the future, ifs, and keeps you rooted in the here and now. At this time, the real-world implementation is basic but meaningful participation in an activity that needs all of your pay attention. It might be as easy as arranging your work area and taking a strolling quickly, or immersing oneself in a book. These deeds demand the now, not the either yesterday or tomorrow, commanding your behaviors to be consistent with your thoughts. You're not merely diverting your attention, you are assuming control over where your recall that energy flows. Stoicism isn't about stifling ideas, it's about controlling them by deciding where to put in the mental work that you're putting mental discipline into practice. Avoiding overthinking is not the aim. That is completely unrealistic. Anticipation, the objective, is to identify when your ideas aren't helpful to you, and having the means to reroute them is similar to exercising a muscle. The more you utilize this ability to refocus, the stronger and more durable mental state. It turns out that the one-time and overpowering wave of overthinking, called wave by wave with consciousness, threefold action and presence, embrace impermanence and learn to let go of things. It's a fact that our minds get stuck a lot, repeating past occurrences in a loop or worrying about what is ahead. This is the playground for overthinking, where thoughts are clingy and stay for a longer time. Rather than accept it as a challenge that has no discrimination and impacts students concerned about testing, experts worried about anyone or presentations. Attempting to sleep as their thoughts amid this sprints at 100 meters per hour, we can take comfort in the mental marathon. Epicurus's words, which reveal to us who worries that there would be nothing worthwhile to do after death. Of a man who is now living, yet this. The phrase may seem a little weighty, but it's actually regarding the idea of transience, which the foundation of Stoicism. Everything is subject to change, including the ideas that appear to be so enduring in our overthinking causes us to frequently cling to our minds as though they were eternal, things that we embrace in our lives. Realizing impermanence entails realizing thoughts flow through them. They are not. This insight, which is eternal, may serve as a beacon for hopefully, once you're ensnared by overthinking and almost embracing. To be impermanent is to become a habit of letting go. It's a psychological process, clearing up spaces where you consciously let the unhelpful thoughts go. To accomplish this, you could picture every thought is a leaf on this river, the surface of the water eroding, or perhaps you perceive them as clouds, constantly evolving, altering, and ultimately advancing. This visualization, in addition to offers prompt comfort, as well as fosters a greater comprehension of the very essence of thought, is change-making. Make this a daily routine for yourself. Regularity might improve your connection. It has nothing to do with your ideas, not driving them away, but rather permitting. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on them. It's a courageous act, indicating that you choose not to let repetitive thoughts take up room in your mind for nothing. As you improve at this, you'll see a fresh mental room, a silence that was there at all times. merely concealed beneath the cacophony of overthinking and accepting transience, is a shift rather than just a method toward a more tranquil and mindful manner of living. Induces anxiety. It is a typical human experience. Anxiety is persistently bothering us, enduring as the buzz of a refrigeration is sometimes constantly present, hardly perceptible, but definitely. These concerns might take control of Jack, our ideas at any time, frequently, while we're attempting to focus on our task, revel in the company of friends, or even while we're attempting to sleep. But our minds is a phase, and these worries are uninvited performers who refuse to leave. Think about this Stoic wisdom. Educator Epictetus, if you'd like to. Better, be happy to be viewed as stupid and foolish. This quote might not seem relevant. However, it's a strong lesson to set priorities. Our tranquility of mind versus giving up to concern that they'll come out as smug or carelessly inciting a moment of concern is a calculated approach to addressing these issues, their appearance on stage, but only not the primary performer scheduled during the encore. Set out a set time each day, perhaps 20 the afternoon, in the minutes that you're able to fully address these concerns. Paying attention during this allotted period, you plunge into your concerns, closely examining them, being aware of their origins and perhaps even making a note of what they are. Truly concerned about the likelihood of, in these situations, what actions can you take? This concentrated period frequently exposes, because a lot of our concerns are similar to shadows that don't seem very big, substance when you confront them directly. Additionally, this procedure trains your mind that worrying has its place and time, and it doesn't last all day every day before. After the anxious moment passes, you move on. You've given your concerns their proper space, and you've now set them aside. By dividing yourself in this way, you may take back command of your day. The aim isn't to entirely give up worrying. That's not feasible. However, by keeping your concerns, you lessen their influence on your. This method of living is similar to cleaning. You're making mental space and placing ideas where they, as well as taking in the peace and quiet of a ranged area. You'll probably discover that concerns become less powerful when they're not permitted to travel freely and live. Get slightly brighter and more delightful. 5. Disintegrate excessively. Ideas into practical actions. When overthinking occurs, it can feel we're bearing the burden of a massive boulder. The extent of our concerns appears to equal the weight of the entire planet, and we are engulfed in a dense fog of our own ideas. This feeling is not distinctive to us as a common human, a situation made worse in a world where demands excellence in every aspect of connections in life, career, and personal development, as well as social status. The need to perform well can freeze us in uncertainty and terror as a light to guide us through this mist of wants. Marcus Aurelius, overanalyzed, provided the obstacle to taking action. Enhances action by removing obstacles. As to the manner in which this profound insight serves as the foundation for our 5th method, converting overpowering ideas into practical actions, to take while you're racing while carrying a heavy or complex concern issue. The secret is to cut it down. Divide it into more manageable chunks. Please you what the absolute next action I can take, not all 5, 10, or 20 steps down the line, but only the following actor is acting on one. Tiny step might not seem like much, but it's an effective remedy for overthinking. By concentrating on a single task, you reroute energy from fretting to really accomplishing it, like struggling to untangle a massive knot. One tiny knot at a time. You're not minimizing the intricacy of your worries that you're working through. With intent, purpose, and accuracy, the elegance of this method lies in its effectiveness and simplicity in each small, Each action you take increases momentum, and when you reflect, you see that boulder of your stress has turned into a mound of pebbles. Stepped over one after the other, this technique imparts perseverance, fortitude, and have faith in one's capacity to face obstacles head-on abruptly. What once appear unbeatable is behind you, and your excessive contemplation gives way to a feeling of achievement and clarity. 6. Change your viewpoint to thankfulness. Our thoughts are finicky, often draw us into a labyrinth of overthinking. What we don't have might not work out, or what we haven't. Achieving this is a never-ending cycle that can exhaust us and leave us feeling excessive. Overthinking frequently results from a concentration on the drawbacks or the future life's hardships, often eclipse the positive. That's already the case, as Serbian mentioned. To truly be happy, one must embrace the moment, without becoming overly reliant on this pearl of Stoic wisdom, will prove to be a plea to change our mindset from one of lack to plenty. From overthinking to thankfulness is about realizing the importance of the here and now and the numerous benefits that we frequently overlook while we're preoccupied with concerns about the future. The gratitude practice helps us escape the mental ruts and plants us securely on the fertile ground of the present. In reality, life is happening to create this. Shift begins by recognizing 3 things for which you are thankful every day. Don't have to be magnificent, they only have to. To be honest, it can be as easy as a scrumptious cup of coffee, cozy in your preferred sweatshirt, or a note from a buddy. This easy exercise can change your perspective, escaping the vicious loop of overthinking and in the direction of gratitude for what is in your life at this moment. By anchoring with thankfulness, you're not just reducing the chatter of overthinking, but additionally enhancing your everyday feeling. Thankful enhances the beneficial in our lives and can gradually but unquestionably change our internal dialogue from 1SC requires it to be abundant. With time, this novel viewpoint can alter your perspective on life's obstacles, transforming them into chances to further acknowledge the positive aspects of your world. This goes beyond sentiment. Better right now. It's about constructing a base of satisfaction that can keep you going through the unavoidable highs and setbacks. Life hands you 7. Put effort before results and avoid overthinking is frequently the outcome of our minds dancing. Future results and what-if scenarios and its endless potential for failure, as well as disappointment with this depiction of the fear of the future, can immobilize us as we be fixated on the possible outcomes, rather than the acts themselves of our actions. We reside in a result-driven society where the conclusion is often justified the methods, and this leads us to assume that if the journey is not certain, but the result is worthwhile to pursue. But a Stoic quotation by Epicurus gives us a concise, don't elaborate on your philosophy. Embody it. Stoicism trains our attention on our actions and goals as opposed to the results, over which we have no control. Doesn't imply we shouldn't have objectives or aim to accomplish amazing things, but it doesn't imply that's where the true value is. The caliber of our work, the truthfulness in our deeds, and the virtue which we use to guide us on our application path. This method, whenever you come across, you are obsessing over the possible outcomes of your work. Consciously shift your attention to the actual work of asking yourself, are you putting forth your best effort and acting morally? Are you adhering to your intention? Values. This strategy is focused on being utterly absorbed in the work being done. Work and understanding. That's where your responsibility puts an end to this emphasis on effort. Can free us from the restraints of overthinking. It enables us to stay in the chance to offer our all, without the thick shadow that might be getting darker. Our experience it transforms our actions. From simple steps leading to a result into manifestations of our personalities and dedication. With this change in emphasis, discover that your journey is more than a way to a conclusion, but a representation of life with purpose, where each step is an accomplishment in itself. The final 3 strategies are open. The door to fresh perspectives, empowering you to tap into untapped strengths. Foster practical resilience and handle life's complexities with a sense of balance. 8. Practice voluntary discomfort. Our minds often lead us into a whirlpool of overthinking when faced with potential discomfort or change. We play scenarios over and over, trying to predict every outcome, preparing for every possible discomfort. This mental rehearsals can be exhausting. Zone becomes a mental prison where growth is stunted and overthought becomes the warden. Marcus Aurelius once remarked, "The art of living is more like wrestling rather than dancing," reflects the Stoic practice of engaging with challenges head-on rather than avoiding them. By practicing voluntary discomfort, we can train our minds to handle uncertainty and reduce overthinking. It's about small, chosen actions that take us out of our comfort zones, teaching us resilience and adaptability to integrate this into modern life. Starts with something small, like taking a cold shower or sleeping without a pillow or walking instead of driving. Do something that disrupts your normal routine and sit with whatever feelings arise without judgment. This isn't about punishment. It's about showing yourself that discomfort isn't as scary as your overthinking mind makes. It turns out to be voluntary discomfort. The paradoxical effect of increasing comfort with the various aspects of life by routinely stepping into what's uncomfortable. The unfamiliar becomes familiar, and the mind learns to quieten. It becomes less reactive to change and be more focused on what can be controlled. Your responses to this powerful shift in perspective not only lessens overthinking, but also builds a core of inner fortitude that is unwavering in the ebbs and flows of life's circumstances. 9. Reflect on the transience of life. When we're caught in the storm of overthinking, it's often because we've zoomed in too closely on the minute details of our lives, losing sight of the bigger picture. Our thoughts become a tangle of what if this happens, or what if that doesn't work out, causing us to lose perspective. This microscopic view can make even the smallest issues appear insurmountable, consuming our mental space and energy. Seneca once wrote, We are not given a short life, but we make it is short, and we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful." Of this poignant reminder encourages us to reflect on the fleeting nature of our existence at each moment. Spent overthinking is a moment not fully lived, a slice of life not savored. Stoicism prompts us to ask ourselves whether our worries will hold any weight in the grand timeline of our lives. To counteract overthinking, then we should regularly take a step back and consider our lives in their entirety. Recognize that many of the things that consume our thoughts are transient and, in the long run, insignificant. When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, pause and remind yourself that life is fleetingly. Ask if this moment of overthinking is truly worthy of the limited time you have by contemplating. In the transience of life, we naturally prioritize our experiences and concerns. This isn't a call to become morose or indifferent, but rather to cherish the present and to focus on what truly matters. It's a powerful antidote to overthinking because it aligns our attention to the present, enriches our appreciation for the now, diminishes the weight of the future-focused anxieties. Let the ephemeral nature of life should not be a source of anxiety, but a canvas on which you paint with the vivid colors of presence and engagement. Living 10. Seek wisdom from outside ourselves. Our own minds can sometimes feel like a maze, where each turn leads to more confusion and overthinking. We try to solve a puzzle only to find that the pieces keep multiplying, leaving us feeling stuck. This is the problem of overthinking in a nutshell, a cycle that starts and ends within the confines of our own thoughts, often without a clear exit. Sena, a man celebrated for his wisdom, said to consult your friend on everything, especially on those matters. Concerning yourself, his counsel may then be useful, where your own self-love might impair your judgment. With these simple words, encapsulate a profound truth that can help navigate the storm. Myces of Overthinking. Stoicism teaches us that seeking insight from outside ourselves can break the cycle of rumination. Could be the fresh perspective of a friend, the impartial advice of a mentor, or the timeless wisdom found in literature. To apply this in a modern context, look for people whose opinions you trust and respect it. It could be someone from your circle or a professional with the experience to guide you in sharing your thoughts with. It can assist them in two ways: clarity as you articulate what's in your mind, and it opens the door for objective feedback that you may have missed while overthinking. This technique does more than offer practical solutions. Reminds us that human connection is invaluable when we share our burdens. They often become lighter. This is not a weakness, but a recognition of the collective strength we have as social beings. Let the wisdom of others be the light that guides you out of the shadows of overthinking. With each conversation, you'll find the puzzle easier to solve, not because the problems are any less complex, but because you are no longer trying to solve them in isolation. Which of these methods resonated with? Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey from chaos to calm. If you found value in our discussion on Stoic strategies for overthinking relief, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Stoicism Insights for more insightful content.